Yasha Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yasha Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yasha Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Sai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Sai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Sai, Bahasura Kahakudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone as well as peace and blessings of the brothers to the house they be led. Those the high spirit with loyal. Today I want to go into, societal norms that's really become destructive for the nation of Israel, man. All right, just to speak about us. Hey, learn not the way of the heathen, man. All right, but one thing you learn is being a future ruler. All right, is you are a gatekeeper to your nation. If you are a ruler of your nation, if you're the elder of your nation, because the men of Yahweh Bahashim Hashai, we're the rulers and gatekeepers of our nation, so to speak, right? And one thing you learn is you judge what's good and bad for your people. We're in someone else's kingdom, where we're spiritual gatekeepers. All right. So there are things that our people have adapted in someone else's kingdom that's been destructive for us. And one thing that we've adapted was the standard American diet. Now, of course, we have the Levitical laws, the dietary laws. All right, don't eat pork, catfish, shrimp. As a matter of fact, I went to grab something to eat yesterday, and it was like a fish sandwich, right? And it was a fish plate. And I asked the person that worked there, what type of fish was it? And she was like, it's a white fish. I could be mispronouncing it, but I looked it up, and it wasn't kosher. But I didn't even know. The spirit was on me to ask what type of fish it was, and when she told me, she was like, it's kind of like a catfish. Then I'm at the place looking it up on my phone, and it was like, no, it is not kosher. I'm like, damn. And I had did that before I ordered it, But the thing is, you see these norms in this kingdom that's been normalized as nothing more than a formality, a social norm. All right, but it's destructive for our people. Like, once again, so many Israelites. Ultimately it's the curses, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. But so many Israelites are beneath the earth right now because of what they've been putting into their body, because they've been eating Babylonian food. Hey, Shalom, brother Yahweh Bahashim Hashai, Bahashim Hakudash Barakatah. So many Israelites have been put to death because of for Babylonian food, or they've been, they've died because of foreign food. We're eating foreign food, man. If you're eating the standard American diet, we're eating foreign food, and we've all done it. All right, and a lot of this so-called food is lab made. Even the vegetables, Moab making fake lettuce and fake cabbage and shit. All right, Esau selling you lab meat. All right, and in America, Jakes love cheese, but that cheese got that high viscosity, is high in cholesterol. It clogs up your arteries. It gets stuck in your digestive organs. All right, the bread is processed, so it just sits in your digestive system. All right, and Jake is ultimately bloated. Essentially, the standard American diet is processed food, and processed food is really a chemical. And the chemical is really just drugs. It's laced. Your food is laced. Okay? It's laced with MSG. It's laced with high fructose corn syrup. It's laced with processed sugar. And other chemicals that we don't even know about, that they're not putting on these labels. Scripture says you're going to eat your bread defiled. You see? All All right, but it's become a social norm. Eating GMOs is a social norm. Monsanto forced farmers to plant these frankincense in the soil. All right. So even when we eat fruits and vegetables, a lot of it is tainted. Then the soil itself is stripped of nutrients, man. So one thing that we've adopted in this nation is a standard American diet. And look what it did to our people. Look at the difference of an Israelite from 1970 until now. In the 1970s, the 1980s, even 1990s, Israel was low fat. The average Israelite had low fat. The average Israelite had a small waistline, all right, especially in the 70s and the 80s. But research shows that you can eat the same amount of food that you ate in the 80s and you will still be 10% heavier, or your waistline will be 10% wider. It was one of them. I think you'd be 10% heavier. So you can eat the same type of food and the same amount of food that you ate in the 80s, and you'll still be wider because now that food is processed. You see? Another thing that the nation of Israel has adopted because they've been enchanted. Once again, the scripture says, learn not the way of the heathen. The women of our nation, they have learned feminism. Because of feminism, most houses are predominantly ran by women. Most houses, especially in the Southern Kingdom, they're bastard houses. All right? Because of feminism, most women lack the ability to pair bond. And that's not something that's just popularly talked about, but because of feminism, and within feminism is women's sexual liberation. All right, and you can just do your research. After women's sexual liberation, the divorce rate skyrocketed. Man. But women were no longer expected to be virgins, and when Satan gave women a life between marriage. Well, really, your life was supposed to be marriage. Really, your imperative, your feminine imperative, was to be a wife and bear children. That was really your trajectory according to the scriptures. But Satan, through this man's kingdom, gave women a life. All right, before she quote unquote settled down, man. But that destroyed her pair bonding ability. See? A lot of so-called black women are unapproachable because of feminism. A lot of times our relationships did not work because of feminism. The scripture says in Sirach 23 that one thing is beautiful in the sight of the Most High is a man and a woman who agree. All right, but the election shows you that the Israelite man and the Israelite woman don't agree. You see, because the Israelite woman is now a feminist. All right? So those are two things that's been adopted that we learned from the heathen. The third thing that we've learned from the heathen is street culture. And I believe it was Dr. Thomas Sowell. All right? I'm sorry, Dr. Thomas Sowell. All right? They talked about the advent of street culture really coming from poor white slave owners over there from Europe. And they started that degenerate culture, you know, clubbing and having brothels and all these different, you know, shootouts and, you know, this low life culture. It was Thomas Sowell who brought that out. And I also remember Dr. Shahrazad Ali brothers bringing it out. So one thing we've adopted from that wild, wild west culture, man, that low life culture, that poor Edomite in America culture, street culture, glorifying a low life. We've learned that, man. So these are ways, W-A-Y-S. These are ways that we learn from the heathen. All right. Hey, the scripture says to envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Wait a minute. You chose the way that he eats. He eats pork. He eats meat in excess. All right. He loves processed food. All right. He loves his women over him. He loves to be dominated by women. All right. He worships the vagina. Most heathens worship the vagina in their culture. That's the way of the heathen. A lot of niggas, they rapping and simping about women. The R&B is a nigga singing about women. A lot of niggas rapping and they're catering to women. Wait a minute. The scripture says that give not thy strength to women. The scripture says give not thy soul to harlots. Jake out here rapping about whores. You know? But, hey, these are things we picked up while in Babylon. All right? That we have to unplug from to ultimately leave Babylon. Okay? Individualism. Another thing that Jake learned from the heathen was individualism. That's why in individualism, Jake will have money and his mom will still be suffering. Eve, your whole family will put you through nursing school, help you get through nursing school, just for you to forget your parents' struggle, man. Or even get that PhD, but her mom would be out there struggling, man, while she's sucking dick on some girl's trip, man. All right? But that individualism, man, that's another component that they've learned, another way that they've learned from the heathen, man. Individualism, man. You know? Once again, learn not the way of the heathen and choose none of his ways, man. Okay? We're transitioning into Jerusalem. First spiritually, then physically. All right? You see? The chief thing that's been the chief principles when it comes to the household is the Most High, Yahweh Shai, man, woman, children. You know? But what did Esau tell you? Happy wife, happy life, man. You know? But you have Edomites on YouTube denouncing feminism. You have Edomites on you. Oh, consumerism, materialism. You learned that from the heathen. Consumerism, materialism. You learned that from the fucking heathen, man. Worshiping things. That's why the scripture says in the last days, men should be covetous. You know, Esau promotes things, promotes material things, man. The best things in life aren't things. There's another thing that Jake picked up from Esau, materialism. That's a main aspect of black culture, rap culture. You read about things. Designer this, Louis that. There's nothing wrong with buying what you want if you can afford it. But this is your religion. You know, this is your belief. That's the point, man. Standard American diet, we've adopted that to our demise. Feminism, women have adopted that to their nation's demise. Street culture, Jake has adopted that to his demise. All right, consumerism. All right, you get to taxes and you blow it. All right, individualism. All right, Jake is just self-absorbed and consuming his own reality. Okay? That's pretty much the point, man. Till the next time, shalom.